Headphones on for best experience today, we will explore Mutnet was an ancient queen and last ruler of the 18th dynasty. Meritaten Tasheret, the shadow of a lost dynasty. Meritaten Tasheret, meaning Meritaten the Younger, was an Egyptian princess of the 18th dynasty, born during the tumultuous reign of Pharaoh Akhenaten. She was likely the daughter of Meritaten, Akhenaten's eldest known daughter, and possibly the granddaughter of Queen Nefertiti. Her existence, recorded on fragmented inscriptions, places her within the heart of one of Egypt's most radical and controversial periods, the Amarna era. This was an age where Pharaoh Akhenaten sought to reshape Egypt's religious and political identity. He replaced the worship of Amun with the singular devotion to the sun deity, Aten, centralizing religious power under his rule. This transformation led to a schism within the powerful Amun priesthood, destabilizing the traditional order that had secured Egyptian greatness for centuries. Akhenaten's city, Akhetaten, modern-day Amarna, became the stage for a revolution that would shape Egypt's history, but also contribute to its internal fractures. Meritaten Tasheret's role remains obscure, overshadowed by the chaos of her lineage. If she was indeed the daughter of Meritaten, her existence suggests a dynastic continuation through the female line, a strategy that had been used in Egyptian history to solidify claims to the throne. However, as the Amarna period collapsed following Akhenaten's death, Meritaten Tasheret, like many figures of that era, vanished from records. The shift back to Thebes, the restoration of the Amun priesthood, and the rise of Tutankhamun erased much of Akhenaten's legacy. The city of Akhetaten was abandoned, and history turned against its former rulers. Her bloodline carried the weight of a radical transformation, tracing its roots to the most powerful figures of Egypt's golden age. As the possible granddaughter of Nefertiti and great-granddaughter of Amenhotep III, she was linked to a dynasty that had reshaped Egypt through both war and diplomacy. Her mother, Meritaten, likely played a significant role as a queen in the late Amarna period, possibly even acting as a co-regent or ruling in her own right under the name Ankeperure Neferneferuaten. This suggests that Meritaten Tasheret could have been an heir to a hidden power struggle, one lost to time as the 18th dynasty unraveled. Following the fall of the Amarna experiment, remnants of this bloodline may have influenced later royal claims. If Meritaten Tasheret survived the purge of Akhenaten's lineage, she might have been absorbed into the Theban court or married into noble families to maintain political stability. However, no clear record confirms her fate, leaving her as one of history's many forgotten royal heirs. Despite her erasure from official records, the power and influence of her bloodline endured through subsequent generations. The shift from the Amarna period back to traditional rule saw many noble and priestly families, with connections to Akhenaten's lineage, subtly reintegrate into the upper echelons of Egyptian society. Even in the reign of later pharaohs, echoes of Amarna influence could be seen in art, religious texts, and even the political structure of Egypt's administration. The very concept of divine kingship, once challenged by Akhenaten's radical reforms, continued to evolve, influenced by the ideological struggles of his era. Key individuals and possible descendants Mutnet, the hidden link to the 19th dynasty. Some historians suggest that Mutnet, the wife of Pharaoh Horemheb, could have had Amarna connections. If she was a surviving daughter of Akhenaten's bloodline, possibly even Meritaten Tasheret herself, her marriage to Horemheb may have been a strategic move to reintegrate royal legitimacy into the emerging new order. This would mean that the 19th dynasty, starting with Ramesses I, carried traces of Amarna ancestry. The high priests of Amun, guardians of royal blood, the resurgence of the Amun priesthood may have concealed another secret: the absorption of Amarna royal women into its ranks. If Meritaten Tasheret or her descendants were taken in by priestly families, they could have played a role in the growing power of the Theban clergy, which became almost as powerful as the pharaoh himself by the 20th dynasty. Seti I and Ramesses X, indirect heirs to Amarna blood, while Ramesses II is often considered the embodiment of traditional Egyptian kingship, subtle artistic and religious elements from his reign suggest lingering Amarna influence. If Meritaten Tashirit's bloodline had been absorbed into military or noble families, her descendants might have risen through the ranks, influencing the policies and reforms of later pharaohs. Queens of the later dynasties, hidden carriers of Amarna legacy? The role of queens and royal women in dynastic continuity cannot be overlooked. Marriages between noble women and rulers of the 19th and 20th dynasties may have ensured that remnants of the Amarna bloodline remained within Egypt's elite, subtly shaping political and religious developments well into the Third Intermediate Period. The legacy of an unseen bloodline. It is possible that traces of Meritaten Tashirit's lineage persisted into the 20th dynasty and beyond, subtly shaping Egypt's ruling class. The continued reverence for certain artistic styles and religious adaptations from the Amarna period hints at an underground current of influence that defied official records. Even as later rulers sought to erase Akhenaten's memory, elements of his legacy endured, a testament to the resilience of those who carried his bloodline. Yet, the echoes of this era remain. The Amarna experiment, though ultimately reversed, demonstrated the power of vision and ambition. It was a moment when a single leader attempted to redefine the gods and the structure of power itself. It was an age of artistic and ideological revolution, where the rigid conventions of Egyptian art gave way to realism, capturing the humanity of its rulers in unprecedented ways. This was the foundation upon which future leaders would draw, understanding that true power is not in maintaining what is, but in daring to shape what could be. The forgotten figures of history, like Meritaten Tashirit, remind us that greatness is not always in the name remembered, but in the impact left behind. Their stories, buried beneath the sands of time, still whisper of ambition, struggle, and the pursuit of transformation. The past is not simply a record, it is a guide, a reflection of what was possible and what can be achieved again. In knowing our history, we reclaim our own power to shape the future. Kindly click like, subscribe, and share this channel.